Hello, everyone. I appreciate everyone being with us today. It's a good day in West Virginia, that's for sure. And we'll get on with the goodness in just a second. I'd like to, again, just talk to you just 1 second. You know, I know that all of us have been through one really tough time. You know, we've lost a lot of great West Virginians. We've had families, you know, that have really suffered and their loved ones. And so please keep all those people in your thoughts, your prayers, and keep up the great work, West Virginia, that you're doing in every way, because this thing is still with us. It's going to be with us until we get that vaccine, and we've got to just have a way to live with it and absolutely manage the risk as best we possibly can. And to do that, you've already shown the world that you're the miracle, the envy of the United States all across our nation. And so just keep doing it, but know that this thing can bite us and bite us really bad, and we just got to really be careful. Now, to all those that are on, you know, today, you know, whether they be, you know, all those that are handling or doing the great work from you know, that receive the historical grants or the arts line item grants, or even a couple that we, you know, that fell through the cracks that we missed over in the Bluefield area that are just our fairs and festivals, you know, that we're going to get some money out to immediately. And so with all that being said, you know, we last week we were able to give out from the Governor's Contingency Fund. We gave out somewhere around almost $1,700,000 to our fairs and festivals, with the thing in mind of just doing this. You know, it was reported to me that many of our fairs and festivals were on the ropes because they, you know, the people that are good enough to put on our fairs and festivals, they're not doing this to make money. They're doing this because of their heart and their love for our state and our counties, your communities, and everything else. And so they're not flush with dollars, that's for sure. And at the end of the day, when something happens like it happened, where we had to stop our fairs and festivals, it put in jeopardy many of them that we were going to lose. And you know, to me, that's just not acceptable. And the reason it's not acceptable is because I'm a real believer that that's part of our fabric. That's part of our identity. That's who we are, you know, and so we have to be able to help and try to preserve and keep our fairs and festivals going, as well as, you know, all the other activities that we have across our state that we're going to talk about today. So we went ahead and put a stake in the sand and said, this is what we're going to do for our fairs and festivals. And we did a match of the dollars that they would receive from the legislative process that they're already in. And we're doing exactly the same thing today. And we're doing that now with our, and is it, I want to make sure that I say that, is it Preservation West Virginia? Is that?
Yes, sir.
And also the arts line items,
yes, sir,
know, that we're doing. And so today, you know, I'm very proud to announce that we have another 62 grants that are going out today, and they are, you know, of a total value of $1,140,000. That doesn't include the couple that are over in Bluefield, and so it's going to be slightly higher than that. Not a lot, but a little bit higher than that. And that's coming, like I said, from the Governor's Contingency Fund. And these are the ones that we're doing today are different. The fairs and festivals that we did a week ago or so, you know, were just events that are happening one time a year. These events are year-round and they're ongoing. And so these, like I said, are year-round organizations that host fairs, festivals, and similar events throughout the year as part of their overall operations. Like I said before, this is different from last week's awards that went directly to individual fairs and festivals who only hold one event each year. For this new round of awards, 52 of them are to support organizations that normally receive funding through the Preservation West Virginia grants. The other 10 are individual line items in the fiscal year 2021 budget. So basically what we're doing is we're doubling down, and we're doubling down to assure that absolutely these great organizations and all the goodness that they deliver to us all the time, absolutely the economic impact is amazing when you think about all the goodness that they bring to our state, you know, from tourism to right on down to everything that happens within us. But I keep going back to one thing, you know, and it's just as simple as this. And you've heard me say this, and if you get tired of hearing me say this, well, that's tough luck. But the bottom line is, any frog that's not proud of his own pond isn't much of a frog. And absolutely, I think West Virginians and all of us should be so proud of what we are and who we are and market that to the world. And we're beginning to do that, and it is really changing the way the world looks at us. And now we're becoming the diamond in the rough that they think they've all missed. And now they all want to come. And so from my standpoint, wholeheartedly, this is really important. It's really important to the economy of our state. It is really important to the fabric of who we are and absolutely who we're going to continue to be. So I'm really proud to be able to do this, and I'm going to pass now to a great man, Randall Reid-Smith, that is our curator of the arts, our guy, you know, that's stuck on all the time and full of enthusiasm like you can't imagine. And I love him to death because I just think he does an outstanding job. He is an incredibly talented individual, but he does an unbelievable job, and I can't thank him enough. But Randall, if you got a few words, we'll go to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Governor, and good afternoon. Today, we come together again to celebrate your recognition of the importance of the arts and how they contribute to our communities throughout the state, especially through fairs and festivals. Governor, I remember very well the first day you were governor and you brought all of the agency directors over to the Culture Center. We met in the theater, and I remember your words, they had a huge impact on me. You said, anybody could have an imagination, but you wanted to work with creative people because creative people get the work done. And Governor, at the heart of our creativity in our state are our fairs and festivals. With the creation of the West Virginia Department of Arts, Culture, and History a little over 2 years ago, where we are the creative side of Wild and Wonderful, we continue to save each fiscal year $2.6 million without cutting a program or cutting a position. The arts, as creative enterprises, make significant contributions to our state and local economies, defining who we are and promote the diversity and uniqueness of who we are as a people. The National Endowment of the Arts say it best, Governor. They call you a rock star for the arts throughout the nation. What you've done, how you've shored us up, increased our budgets for the arts. And we have a few friends from fairs and festivals and our arts community who want to express their gratitude to you today. They want to talk about all the culture and heritage tourism you talk about, the economic impact, and the community pride and involvement that they bring to our state. Jordan?
All right, thank you, Curator. Next, we'll go to Audie Perry with Heritage Farm Museum and Village in Wayne County.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Governor, for acknowledging the importance of these entities that are trying to tell the world how wonderful this place is. Heritage Farm is a Smithsonian-affiliated museum in Huntington, West Virginia. Our purpose is to show the world how intelligent, creative, hardworking, and persevering the Appalachian is. And so we celebrate that Appalachian ingenuity through 7 different museums, about 50 acres of what we call farm fun. And then we hope that each visitor, especially our school children, understand that somebody in their family was amazing. that they built their own home, that they grew their own food, that they made their own clothing, and they were able to protect their family against everything that came against it, or else you and I wouldn't be here today. And that the great thing is that we can be that same type of amazing people by using our creativity and hard work so that we can make the world a better place just like they did. And we just thank you so much for acknowledging the importance of that, not only for our school children, but to the public at large as tourism and others come to visit us. I think post this pandemic, the world will quickly discover, as you mentioned, what Wild and Wonderful is all about. And so while we have this kind of odd, unique period in our history, we need to use it to create the infrastructure and the connections that it takes, so that when the world wakes back up, we're ready to show them just how beautiful it is.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I agree wholeheartedly with you in every way.
All right, thank you, Mr. Perry. Next, we'll go to Charlie Mathena with the Chuck Mathena Center in Princeton.
Good afternoon, Governor. Hi, Randall. I can't begin to say thank you enough, Governor, for your support of the arts in West Virginia. Sitting down in southern part of West Virginia, we're on the border. Last year at the Chuck Mathena Center, we had better than 60,000 people pass through our doors. The impact that the arts have in West Virginia, but especially in Mercer County, goes into the millions. A third of our business comes from out of state rather than in state. Our facility allows young people, middle-aged people, senior citizens, a place to come and to dream and to develop and to learn. We're very proud of our center, and the state has been very supportive. And again, I can't say thank you enough for that. What is happening with the virus and COVID-19 has devastated us with our doors closed. We're kind of the new kid on the block here in West Virginia. We've only been in existence in our 12th year. We still have a mortgage to pay, and without people, without programs, without events, we're stymied. So we're just hoping and praying that this will pass soon, that where we can get back to doing the business at hand that we love to do. We express that when people can't come to the Chuck Mathena Center, the hotels and motels, restaurants and convenience stores, they suffer along with us. So it is a great impact on not only Mercer County and southern West Virginia, the whole region. People suffer from culture. Culture is good. It is good medicine at all times for all people of all levels. And I just, Governor, I just say thank you for being the booster that you are for arts and culture in West Virginia. Thank you for sticking with us. And we're proud to be West Virginians, and we're proud to be a member of the Arts and Culture Commission. Thank you.
No, I thank you. And I don't know how it can be said any better. I mean, really and truly, the impact, the economic impact, just what you just said, 60,000 people in southern West Virginia that come, you know, a third of them coming from out of state. You know, the economic impact to everything, to hotels, to everything, to Kroger's, to everything is unbelievable. But you said, you nailed it when you said to me just this. We all have mortgages. We all have things that we have to do. And the fact that you have been closed down and maybe possibly put your organization in jeopardy, you know, or any of our fairs and festivals in jeopardy is just absolutely, at least to the very best that I can possibly do, is not going to happen on my watch. And therefore, I am so proud of all the great work you do. And I was just sitting here thinking, you know, when you open back up, I want to come, and I want to come to as much and as I possibly can, in as many places as I possibly can. But anyway, thank you for all the good work you do.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mathena. Next, we'll go to Joe Tackett with the West Virginia Symphony.
My name is Joe Tackett, and I'm honored to serve as the president of the West Virginia Symphony. Governor, thank you for your continued leadership and support for the fairs and festivals that celebrate the culture and heritage of our great state. The West Virginia Symphony is the state's orchestra, with performances and education programs in all the corners of the state. We are the largest employer of artists in the state, and we have an economic impact of over $20 million statewide each year. Every year we travel the state by bus and car, bringing great art to all of our communities and boosting the local economy through tourism and building community. Governor Justice, with your hard work, we will keep the music playing. This year, even with social distancing. Thank you for your support, and thank you for the great curator, Randall Reid-Smith, who brings beauty to all of our state. I'm not from West Virginia, but I got here as soon as I could, and I'm proud to be a Mountaineer.
Well, I'm really proud that you're here. You know, first of all, I would have a saying, we'd be glad to have you. And you know, but you know, I think you split the bullseye on everything except, you know, saying that Randall is beautiful. And now, I don't know if I can go quite there or not, but no, he's beautiful in so many ways and everything. I can't thank you enough. Way to go.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tackett. Next, we'll go to Cliff Martziller with the Mountain State Forest Festival in Elkins. Cliff, we think your mic is muted. If you could unmute, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you for having me today. Thanks to Randall Reid-Smith for asking me to be a part of this teleconference, and thank you, Governor Justice, for your support of fairs and festivals across the state, as well as certainly the board of directors of the Mountain State Forest Festival. We're very thankful for the appropriation that you're sending our way. I'm the president of the board of directors of the Mountain State Forest Festival this year. For those who may not be familiar with our festival, we believe we're one of the oldest, if not the oldest, festivals in the state. We started in 1930. And our founding fathers, if you will, the genesis of their ideas for the Mountain State Forest Festival as the country started into the grips of the Great Depression was to find ways to stimulate economic activity in the city of Elkins and in Randolph County and throughout the state. And that was their initial goal. They decided upon a festival that celebrated the forest heritage of our area, the hardwood industries, and all the other forest products that come out of the area. And about a dozen years ago, we decided to see how we were doing in terms of economic impact. We actually commissioned a firm out of Pittsburgh called Tripp Umbach to do an economic impact study of the Mountain State Forest Festival. And the results of that came back that our festival had an economic impact on the city of Elkins of $15.3 million. The impact countywide was $22 million, and the impact on the entire state was just shy of $26 million. So for folks out there who may not be totally aware of the impact that fairs and festivals have, that gives you some idea of you know, what sort of impact these local fairs and festivals can have. And we certainly are appreciative of your support. We have a significant amount of overhead to run the type of festival that we do. It's the festival proper is about 9 days long, and we have anywhere between 60 and 75 events depending on year to year. And we have 2 full-time staff. We've got offices and a warehouse, and a lot of overhead and expenses. And the money you've been able to appropriate to us this year is just tremendously helpful in a year that was very challenging, where we weren't able to raise much in the way of local sponsorship money when we don't have events, and we still have ongoing overhead that we have to meet throughout the year. So again, thank you very much, and we're very appreciative of the help.
No, I thank you, and my comment would be just this. You know, I know our fairs and festivals all across our state are important, and I wish everyone would go to every single one of them if you possibly could do that, you know, through your lifetime or your children's lifetime and everything. But I have absolutely been a participant in the Forest Festival in Elkins, and it is phenomenal. I mean, that's all there is to it. It just blew me away. I mean, the number of people there and the thousands and thousands, it is absolutely unbelievable. So thank you so much, and let's just keep it going and everything, because a lot of goodness. You've said the economic impact is off the chart, and so I just congratulate you on great work, and what an incredible festival.
All right, thank you. Next, we'll go to Ed Herendeen with the Contemporary American Theater Festival in Shepherdstown.
Thank you. Governor, on behalf of all our entire community and the artists that make up the Contemporary American Theater Festival, I want to thank you for this continued support, this additional grant. It's going to allow us to continue to bring our passion for new American theater to the Shepherdstown community, a historic, beautiful town, as you know, on the banks of the Potomac River in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. Annually, we are attracting people. Last summer, we attracted people from 38 states to attend and visit our festival for 2 or 3 days at a time overnight, as well as we have had an economic impact based on our recent Economic Independent Impact Survey of $5.86 million to the Eastern Panhandle and to the community of Shepherdstown. In Shepherdstown, West Virginia, we like to say that the Contemporary American Theater Festival is creating the future of American theater in the state, the great state of West Virginia. We also, and you gave me a great segue, because I want to extend my personal invitation to you, Governor Justice, to attend our festival in July of next year, 2021, and be our guest, where you can actually enter what we call the gateway into the state of West Virginia as you come across the Potomac River. We border, as you know, on 4 states, people from around the country, and we're beginning to increase our visitors coming internationally as well to see new American theater, world premiere professional plays produced in West Virginia. The New York Times, Governor, has called us in their recent story one of the top 15 summer festivals in the United States. That's happening in our state. We are so proud to be a partner with the state of West Virginia. We are so proud to be a partner with our community in Shepherdstown and the Eastern Panhandle, where we tell live stories with professional actors, directors, and designers. And Governor, in many ways, we are bringing our local community to have their first experience seeing a professional play in their own community. So in addition to the economic impact, it really is very important to me that we are having a cultural and educational impact for the citizens that live in the Eastern Panhandle region, who can attend the Contemporary American Theater Festival before they attend the Kennedy Center and go to other states to see professional theater. So we're very proud to play a role in the cultural life of this state. So let me again say thank you so much. In 2013, the American Theater Critics Association, a national organization of critics, theater critics, held their meeting, their annual meeting at the Contemporary American Theater Festival at the Bavarian Inn during our theater festival in the summer. What an extraordinary, critics from all over the country came to our state, perhaps for the first time. And what's so great is to see people who find us for the first time that come and return to the state and go deeper and deeper into the state once they cross that Potomac River. So we're very, very grateful to you. This is a major symbol, giving this grant at this time when so many arts organizations around the country are feeling the pain of the pandemic. And you're stepping up to the plate and saying that the arts matter, that stories matter, that theater, music, visual arts matters. And in the state of West Virginia, we have always been committed to the life of art. So thank you, Governor.
No, I thank you so much. And I hope and pray just this. First of all, good Lord willing, the creek doesn't rise, I'll be there next July. And the other thing I would say to you is just this, is thank you so much for telling the story of the incredible work that has happened right there in Shepherdstown. You know, it is unbelievable if you just think about it, you know, what has been accomplished. And I hope and pray that the media that is listening to this will take these stories and perpetuate them through the land, because that's what we need to have happen. We need to tell the goodness that goes on within our state and let it perpetuate itself all through the land. You said, I think 38 states have been there, and all the stuff about the New York Times and all the stuff about the theater critics and everything. All the stuff that has been done is amazing. It is truly amazing to think that that is happening in West Virginia. And the greatness of it is if we could just tell our story to the world will come. And you know, it just confirms everything that I'm trying to do here, and that is just this. And just saying just what you just said, whether it was the cultural matters, the music matters, the arts matter, they do matter. They're us. I mean, they're absolutely us. And so I can't thank you enough. I loved your words. I loved listening to you and everything. And I'm sure going to try to come as best I possibly can next July.
All right, thank you. Next and finally, we'll go to Kathy Sawyer with the Greenbrier Valley Theater in Lewisburg. Kathy, I think your mic is muted. If you could unmute, please, so we can hear you.
Well, let me say this. You know.
Can you hear me now?
Okay,
oh, there we
Kathy,
are.
good to have you back.
Hey, thanks. I'm so sorry about that. I appreciate very much the opportunity to thank you directly, Governor, and to thank Randall, who has, oh my gosh, has he been wonderful for all of us. You know, I worked in a lot of states before I came to West Virginia. I worked in the arts and I worked in theater administration and I wrote grants, and I have never been prouder of being part of a state than I am of West Virginia because of that appreciation for the arts. Because of your support of the arts and the state's support of the arts, Governor, we're even able to offer a free performance of every one of our shows so that nobody in our area, which, as you know, there are people here who can afford a theater ticket, and there are a lot of people here who can't afford a theater ticket. So we make it possible for everyone to come, but we are able to do that because of your support. You know, I always like to think of the arts as a renewable resource, that we're a great renewable resource for this state. The arts are a consistent source of economic growth. I know that the NEA tells us this, that we have 5 times the economic impact of even agriculture. And that says something about what Americans want and what it means to preserve the culture of this country. We can be a centerpiece for economic development. And I think we have been here in Lewisburg. Our organization, which is a small theater, we have alone, we have an $8 million economic impact. And that doesn't include the arts impact that comes from the galleries and from Carnegie and from the dance troupes. So it's a huge part of having Lewisburg become a destination for cultural tourism, which, as you know, because I've heard you say it, Governor, is it's the growing part of tourism. It's the part of tourism that brings the most bang for the buck to the community. And we're so thrilled to be part of that. You know, the other day I was downtown, and a restaurant owner came up to me and he said, "Kathy, when are you guys going to be up and running?" And I said, "Well, we're hoping to get back pretty soon, and we're worried about it." And he said, "Let me know what I can do, if I can do a fundraiser for you or something, because you all are our hope. You all are the thing that keeps these restaurants viable here. And we need to see you back in business," which I think could be said about a lot of businesses in this area. I think that, you know, I keep hearing stories from friends in New York that are leaving New York, or they have people who are leaving New York or Chicago and looking for other locations. And I think that one of the things that will attract them to West Virginia is that we have culture here, that we have arts programming, that there are things that they can experience and participate in that enrich their lives, and especially with children. And we have a very active kids program after school, and we're in schools in the area. And not only is theater an opportunity to invite people to understand and feel what other people feel, it teaches kids that kind of empathy. And I think it's very important now in a period of time where we need social cohesion, and the arts can bring that to people. They can bring that to people through shared experiences. We've a lot of our new work, when we do new work, are local stories. We brought national and international attention to West Virginia last year by being invited to be featured at the National Black Theater Festival. And what we had that was featured at the National Black Theater Festival was a West Virginia story. It was a story of a woman who was born in Alderson, West Virginia, and became known all over the world. And those are the kind of stories we like to add to our programming. We're working on one right now that's about a very important law that was passed in the early part of the 20th century in West Virginia. And we can only keep doing that work because you've stepped up, and because the commissioner has stepped up, and because so many people who are in a position to help us really, really care. And I cannot thank you enough for that. And I cannot thank you enough for being the cheerleader that you are, that keeps all of us going, and that keeps telling West Virginians, these people are important. What they're doing for us and for the state and for our children is important. And I don't know what else I can say except thank you so much for all of your help. And thank you for helping Randall, because he works harder than anybody I've ever known and cares more than anyone I've ever known in the arts. So we are in your debt.
Well, Kathy, thank you so much. And am I wrapping up now, Jordan? Please, I hope everyone is still on, all the people that spoke and everything. Let me tell everyone just this. And I think everyone knows me well enough to know that I'm not a politician, and I don't blow smoke at anybody. I just don't have time to do it, and I really don't. You know, when I tell you something, I mean it, and I mean it from the very bottom of my heart. You know, when I came in here today, I thought, here's exactly what I thought. I thought, we're doing some really good stuff here, and I know my heart, and I know where I stand and what I feel about, you know, the continuation of our fairs and our festivals and the arts and all the goodness that they do and everything. And I really felt like when I walked in the door, I said, you know, this is a good thing we're doing today, a really good thing. But I want to thank every single person that's been on this call and everything, because you really have touched my heart today. You see, as much as I think I know the goodness that you're doing, when you talk to me as you've talked today, I see into your soul, and I see the commitment of the goodness that you've done and that you continue to do. And I really, really thank you for just all this, everything that you do. I know I only know a thimble full, but I mean it when I say that you touch my heart and you absolutely give me additional life, because I know that we're doing the right thing in trying to preserve the arts, expand the arts, and do all the goodness that you're doing for not only the economic impact, but the goodness to all of our souls. And so from Randall, from myself, I really thank you for the day. And all I can say is, everybody keep up the great work, and I'll continue to try to help any and every time I possibly can, because I'm a believer. I'm all in. So God bless all of you, and thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you for what you gave me today. And I really, really mean that. Thank you again.